Guys doing? Hopefully you've had a successful week. It's Friday. We are going to be streaming on Fridays more.
We made it.
Did we? We're good now.
It feels like we made it.
Look at the little shovel. Look at
Hey,
Goku.
guess what? We made it.
Super Saiyan 4 Goku, Gogeta, Super Saiyan Goku, Vegito, and Super Vegeta. And then this right here is a Funko Pop of Vegeta doing the gun against Goku. Anyway, how are you guys doing? Hopefully you had a good week. It's been a long one, but last weekend, we're coming off the best weekend of football ever that I've ever watched. I actually got to watch a lot of the games, so I was really excited about that. We got the Major League Baseball voted this week for the Hall of Fame.
It does, you're right.
I know it needs some lights, but I didn't know if I was going to put these in there or if I was going to get like one of those tappy lights.
For the top?
You know, you could just tap and it would illuminate, you know what I'm saying? Also, this
sound effect.
Yeah. This right here will light up. I just need a longer cord to plug it in, and then it'll light up. That'd be like our Go Live sign. That'd be pretty cool. But anyway, hopefully you guys are doing well. I want to start off with a joke. Another joke. Last week's joke went over well, so hopefully...
I teed.
Yeah, well, to be fair, we have similar. All right, so how... A clap-on light... We're too loud. We be clapping too much. We just high-five and turn the lights on and off. Anyway, how do you track Will Smith in the snow?
Check for Fresh Prince.
Yeah, you follow the Fresh Prince.
Speaking of which, they're remaking it. It looks terrible.
Nope, there's no way that can be good. Nope. Some things are better left alone, and
you could have fixed it with one simple thing. Made Will Smith the new Uncle Phil.
That would be cool.
And then not talk about it.
That would have been good. I'm not interested in that. It's a movie, though, yeah? It's not a show?
No, it's a show.
One ha? That's all I get is one ha? Fresh Prince?
It's better than nothing.
That's true. How about this one, babe? Are you ready? I just found out you can't run in a campground. You have to ran because it's past tense.
Your dad jokes coming in.
Yeah, they're on point. Was that the one from last week?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your mom was excited.
Yeah, she was like, "What was that?" I was like, "Listen, I thought it was clever." Anyway, so I want to talk about the Baseball Hall of Fame real quick. We'll start with that. So Barry Bonds did not get elected in the Hall of Fame for the 10th consecutive year, meaning he will not be on the ballot anymore. He's no longer eligible to be in the Hall of Fame. Same thing with Roger Clemens. If you don't know, both of those guys were hate. That's a good one. First of all, you know that one's good. Past tense is fantastic. That's my favorite gift to use. Hate, double hate, loathe entirely. Anyway, Roger Clemens did also not make it, so therefore they're not going to be in the Hall of Fame. I think both of them. Roger Clemens, more so, he shouldn't be in because he's an idiot. He brought all the hate upon himself. If you don't know, way back in 2005, he did incriminate himself. He basically said, Congress doesn't know what I know, and then
he's like, I just came here to tell you that I'm not on steroids, and you're like, yeah,
but nobody asked.
Now I think you are.
Right, and then they went on, found him guilty. Him and the other dude who pitched for your team,
Andy
Pettitte, who was also very good. And then he did steroids. But so Roger Clemens and Bonds are both not in for the same reason of steroids. However, Barry Bonds is not in for lying about them, and Roger Clemens is not in for not lying about them. Basically incriminating himself, like we just said. But I think it's foolish that Barry Bonds isn't in the Hall of Fame for steroids because he was great before even the suspicion of steroids.
Steroids didn't make him a good hitter.
Right, and steroids can't make you good at hitting. They can make you hit the ball farther. That's it. So sure, maybe he doesn't hit 760 home runs or whatever it is. But at the same time, he was going to hit a lot of home runs anyway. His on-base percentage is ridiculous.
He was going to be a member of the 500 club.
500 home runs, 500 steals.
The only member of that club.
How many steals did he finish?
I don't about that. Once he started juicing, he stopped stealing.
Mm-mm.
His head got too big.
He started running like this.
Yeah, you can't steal with a head that big.
Well, if it tips the right way, he might get a good corner going to second. Because if your head's leaning, you really get into the corner there. But I just think the baseball writers are too stuck up. To keep someone out of the game, he cheated the sanctity. Okay, but all your unwritten rules and all that bullshit, I don't know, man. Because is David Ortiz in the Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
Okay, so David Ortiz.
He got caught doing PEDs too.
So and not to mention he wasn't an everyday player. He was a DH. So I definitely, if you have David Ortiz, who got in on the first or second ballot, he got in early compared to we had 10 years of Federer.
I really thought they were going to let him in this time. Like the last one. Make Bonds wait until the last one. I feel like that would have been a very good...
It's something. Yeah. Like if you're going to hold your head high and we only let him in because he was good, but we made him wait for it. He didn't get in on the first ballot like he should have. Fine, whatever makes you feel happy. But to not put him in at all, I just can't see being fair. Same thing we talk about all the time is Pete Rose.
Pete Rose, I was just about to bring Pete Rose up.
Yeah. He should 100% be.
How's the hit king not in there?
Right.
Because he gambled as a coach. And I could go all day.
The idea that gambling on game, he's gonna, because first of all, he was the coach. So what can he do realistically to impact the game?
Well, you could pull your pitcher out or stack your lineup where you know they're going to lose. Like if you know your lineup is hitting really bad against lefties, not make any adjustments and you know that you're going to lose. But
you can't. But there's no guarantee.
Right.
That's why you play the game.
Right.
Oh, we don't play well against
it's not like point shaving in basketball.
Right. Well, even that is like, how are you going to tell the dude, hey, miss this shot?
Right.
Yeah, NBA players are good enough they might be able to pull it off, but their whole goal is to make shots. For example, by the way, Steph Curry, who's everybody's front runner for MVP, or at least in the conversation for MVP, is shooting worse from the floor this season than Russ. He just had his first game in months of over 50% shooting, and that brought him up to just above Julius Randle. He's 41% from the field this year. Russ is 43%. So, but Steph Curry is your MVP and all this shit. Andrew Wiggins is an NBA All-Star starter, by the way. I don't know about that one. I think you should have gone. You could have gone with Draymond. You could have gone with it's a front court position because they've got him at small forward. So maybe there weren't. I fuck Draymond. I'm just glad it's not boy from the Jazz, Gobert.
Rudy?
Yeah, Rudy always gets in, and he should not be a starter. Also, side note. Andrew Wiggins has now started more All-Star games than Paul Pierce.
That's the truth. That's the truth. You can suck on it.
Anyway, before we move on from baseball, I do want to talk about the crazy stat. Mo showed us this, and I'm really mad because I don't know if you would have seen it before today, and I wanted to show it to you like today. Be like, look, I found a baseball stat. But Mo sent it to us. But it says David Ortiz on-base percentage for his career. What is that? Huh. I don't,
Looked like a lock.
Yeah, I don't know what that was. Anyway, David Ortiz's career on-base percentage was 380. Sounds pretty good. I don't know what's good or not. But I assume it's okay.
It means he reached base 38% of the time.
I figured that, but I didn't know if that was good. Anyway,
yeah.
Barry Bonds' career on-base percentage, if you take away all 762 home runs, is 384. So if you take away the home runs, which do those count as on-base percentage in the first place? Which doesn't make any sense because you don't get on base.
But you touch all the bases.
But that doesn't count. You're not on base. It's on-base percentage.
You were on the bases.
But you weren't though.
You can't be because you touched them all.
Anyway, I think that's a dumb way to calculate that. But either way, if you take them away and make them outs, his on-base percentage is still 384, which is insane. So that goes to show you how much better Barry Bonds was at baseball.
Bro, they intentionally walked him with the bases loaded.
Yeah, I saw that. Mariners, right? So bases are loaded. Mariners are up 6-4. Barry Bonds up to bat, and they said, we are not letting you hit a grand slam or a double or none of that shit. They put him on base, sacrificing a run, so it was 6-5. Bases still loaded.
They won, though.
Well, but, I mean, just talk that, like, there's no amount of respect that goes on in today's baseball that's like that. Nobody's feared like that. No, not a single player. That's insane. Barry Bonds should 100% be in the Hall of Fame. So,
Pete Rose, too.
Did you get a chance to watch any of the games last week?
I watched the first half of the Rams-Bucks game.
Okay, well, I only watched a lot of the Rams-Bucks. I watched all of Rams-Bucks, and I watched the second half, late third quarter into the fourth of the Chiefs-Bills game. So I can only really talk in depth about the Rams and the Chiefs game. The other two, however, this is also First of all, like I said to start the podcast, greatest weekend of football ever, bar none. The all 4 games came down to the last possession. 3 of them were last second field goals, and then the Chiefs scored the last second touchdown not last second, but the touchdown in overtime, last play of the game. First time that's ever happened in NFL history to start with. We'll start with the let's see, is that the early game? The early game was Bengals Titans. Again, don't want to brag, but I've picked every playoff game right so far. Hopefully we can keep that streak up when we pick towards the end of the podcast, or at least the end of this segment. But the Titans sacked Joe Burrow 9 times, and he still managed to throw for like 350 yards. Now, he didn't throw for a lot of touchdowns, but at the same time, you get sacked that many times and you're still able to put up yards. It's impressive. But we both said going into it, the Titans are weak. We didn't think they were the number 1 seed to begin with, at least not deservedly. I mean, I know they had the best record, but kind of by default.
Tannehill is still going to be
his first pass of the game was picked. They had I think what it really was the Titans were in control from the parts I was watching. The Titans were in control, but they never did anything. So like the Titans got up to like 10-0, and then it was 10-6, and then it was 10-11, and then it ended up being like 10-10 going into the fourth quarter, and 13-13. Like the Titans, it was always the Titans would score and then the Bengals. So they always had a lead until they gagged it away at the end. Joe Burrow played great. I think there's some Joe Burrow stuff we're going to talk about later in Bullshit Get Bale Says. But he played really well. I can't hate. Jamar Chase is fantastic. And he was routing dudes up. It was rather embarrassing. It was a great game, though, overall. But I just knew the Titans were going to fold. I had no confidence in the Titans. Your team, it was Rams and the
Niners and
Green Bay. Green Bay. Shout-outs to you, Rabbi, my guy. I know that one hurt like a bitch. I definitely text you right after. The embarrassing part is that Jimmy G did Jimmy G things. He scored 6 points, no touchdowns on offense. He's kicked 2 field goals. The defense scored the only touchdown for the 49ers. It was a blocked punt, which, by the way, Green Bay finished this season last in special teams. And their special teams choked the game away. They had a punt blocked. They missed a field goal and I think maybe an extra point. It was very bad. The 49ers on offense were pretty bad. Late in the fourth quarter to give them the go-ahead field goal, they ran the ball on 3rd and 7 to their wide receiver. Lined him up at halfback. Deebo Samuel said, "Hey, bud, please." And then he ran through the entire Green Bay defense, picked up 9 yards on 3rd and 7. Got him the first down. They ended up running out the clock, kicking the field goal to win the game. It was embarrassing. The first drive, the Packers marched out of the field, scored a touchdown, missed the extra point. It was 6-0, but it looked like it was going to be an easy game. I mean, it might have been. They might not have missed that one. It was 7-0. After that, Aaron Rodgers played pretty much how Aaron Rodgers plays in the playoffs, which is really hurtful to me because I can't keep going to bat for the dude who doesn't show up in the playoffs, and he continues to let me down. But yeah, Jimmy G was bad. Aaron Rodgers had 2 chances at the end of the game. I think his last drive, he threw to a double covered Devontae Adams on a streak, and Valdez-Scantling is in the middle of the yard, in the middle of the field with nobody around him. If he hits him in stride, he probably goes for a touchdown because his defender fell. You got 2 defenders running deep with Devontae, and everybody else was on short routes. He was gonna just run forever. So it was rather embarrassing that Rodgers completed 20 passes. I think 14 were to Devontae. Or some shit like that. Like over 80% of his passes went to one guy. And he just wouldn't look at anybody else. And Aaron Jones had a couple. I think he had 4 targets. 4 catches. I think he was second on the team with 4 catches. It was just embarrassing. Either play calling by Matt LaFleur, which I'm not going to go with because of how prolific the offense was during the regular season. It was poor decision making by Aaron Rodgers, and he
wanted to play it safe the whole time.
But you're at home. I mean, it's not even the playing it safe, like not because he put the ball in harm's way, just only to Devontae, instead of looking anywhere else, or maybe I don't know, just looking. Like you're too good a quarterback to stare down one dude like that, and I think it definitely hurts his case for being. I never would. He was the greatest talent maybe at quarterback, but even now I can't even say that with my chest out anymore. because talented players don't give up like that. And he definitely felt like he gave up. But the Niners won again, and I'm telling you, they're going to go beat the Rams. They haven't lost to the Rams in 3 years. They're 6-0 against the Rams in the last 3 years.
Now they're going to fucking lose. Thanks.
I wasn't the first person to say that, though. It only counts if the announcer says it.
Thanks.
Now we get to the important games. Rams, Bucks. Hey,
They beat your in-division rival.
Which I appreciate. I was very happy about. Thank you. Now, granted, I'm only happy because I picked them. I think here's what. Okay, well, let's talk about the Rams Bucks game, and then we'll talk. Well, let's talk about the game. We'll finish talking about the games, and then we'll talk about the matchups because I'm gonna talk about the matchups anyway. So Rams Bucks was fantastic. If you're a fucking not a Tom Brady fan, this guy, he was harassed and abused all game.
Played like dog shit.
He was not good, but again, as we saw in the Super Bowl, even a great quarterback can be rattled by pressure. However, Tom Brady didn't run for 500 yards behind the line of scrimmage like Patrick Mahomes was trying to make plays. Brady was just throwing it away or throwing it in the dirt. The first half was embarrassing. I think it was 20-3. No. Yeah, it was 20-3 with 11 seconds left. The Rams were driving. So it was either going to be 23-3 or 27-3 at halftime. Cam Akers was running the ball, going for the end zone. He fumbled. Bucks get the ball. It was after a Tom Brady turnover, by the way. He threw an interception to Gronk.
Yeah, it was a terrible throw.
He was super late. And the safety just broke on it, picked it off. One of his 2 interceptions on it? 1 or 2. I think it might have been just 1, but just that one. It was a bad throw, out-breaking route. It was really far, and maybe if he had the arm strength people think he does, Skip, he might have got it there, but he was too late. Safety picks it. Rams get the ball with a chance to go up by 3 full scores, or, 27-3 is you're fucked. But he fumbled.
Yeah,
Bucks.
Ask Atlanta about that.
No, that was 23. 23-3.
28-3.
Was it 28-3? Fuck Atlanta. Anyway, so right before half, the Rams had all the momentum, fumbled the ball away. The Bucks come out, they get a score. But then in the third, so they fumbled right before half. The Rams did, and then in the third quarter, they fumbled 3 more times. So 2 more times in the third, 1 time in the fourth. They throw a pass to Cooper Kupp, he fumbles. Rams get the ball, score a touchdown. You
mean Bucks?
No, yeah, Rams score. The Bucks scored a touchdown off a Rams fumble. Then, so next drive, Rams get the there's a punt. The Bucks have the ball at the 25 or 30 on their side of the field. Von Miller comes around, strip sacks Brady. Rams recover the ball. Next play, Stafford's calling his audibles, reading the defense. Center snaps the ball 50. It goes back 40 yards behind his head. The Bucks recover it in Rams territory. They go down and score. So Tom Brady's leading this epic comeback, and the Rams are literally handing him the ball. He didn't have a touchdown. He had 1 touchdown drive over 50 yards, and it was the 54-yard pass to Mike Evans, who Ramsey just didn't play defense. He didn't he backpedaled, but he didn't run until he was like, oh shit, he's throwing the ball. Like, it was very disappointing. So that touchdown pass made it 27-20. Bucks had the ball. They scored. They threw a touchdown pass to make it 27-20. 3 minutes left to go in the game. Rams get the ball. Fumbled it away again. Cam Akers runs through the line, fumbles the football. Tom Brady gets the ball. He hands it off to Leonard Fournette, who runs it in for a touchdown. Bucks go up, 40 seconds left. Or Bucks tie the game, 27-27, 40 seconds left. I'm like, son of a fucking bitch. He's going to do it again. I'm so shitty. My father-in-law comes in because he was going to come. Him and my mother-in-law were coming over to help me with the kids before I put him to bed. So he walks in the door and is like, what's going on? I'm like, man, Rams got the ball, 40 seconds left. I'm like telling him it's going to overtime and all that shit. First play of the Rams' last drive, Mike Evans. Matt Stafford drops back, runs for no reason, almost fumbles the ball, goes down. They call timeout. Rams don't have any more timeouts. Second play, 20-yard out route to Cooper Kupp. There's like fucking 25 seconds left or something. Snap the ball at the 35, and Stafford just drops back and fucking heaves it. And I'm like, ah! I'm holding the baby. I'm yelling. Cooper Kupp catches it, goes out to 15. Rams kick a field goal. Fuck the Bucks. It was awesome. Great game. I will say it was very nice to see, like, in the first half, Brady got a roughing the passer that he didn't get called. Von Miller came around the edge, and his helmet, like, he hit his shoulder pad and skipped into his helmet and gave Brady a little bloody lip, and he got up and was cussing at the ref.
I saw that, yeah.
And then the ref threw a 15-yard unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on him, and I was like,
good job,
you know why he did that? It's because I bet Brady was talking about, people always talking about me getting bailed out by roughing the passer calls, and the ref's like, bet, so you're not going to get any. He didn't get any calls, but his defense showed up, got 4 fumble recoveries, and he was going to get credit for the comeback. Skip's like, he had 125 yards passing in the fourth quarter. He had 55 of that on one broken coverage play. He had 70 yards in the fourth quarter. Like, that's some magic number. Like, anyway, fuck him. It was great to see him lose, and I'm very happy. Now, to the best game of football I've ever seen. In the last, let me see, hold on. I want the final score. The Chiefs won 42-36. The teams combined for 25 points in the last 1 minute and 54 seconds of the game. I'll say it again. They combined for 25 points in the last less than 2 minutes of the game. Here's how the scoring went, right? So the Bills are driving they get the ball with like 3 minutes left, and they're driving. It gets to 4th and 6. They have to go for it because they're down. And fucking Josh Allen does this crazy run around the end. He's pump faking dudes out, and he runs for like 15, running over people, gets out of bounds, stops the clock. It was Josh Allen proved that he's the fucking real deal. He was fantastic. You can't talk shit about Josh Allen no more. And we'll talk about that in a second. So they scored the touchdown with 1 minute 54 left, less than 2 minutes to give Patrick Mahomes the ball. They go for 2, they get it. On a an amazing play. He rolls out to his left. He's rolling out to his left. It was kind of like the Joe Burrow play, except Burrow was going to his right, so it's an easier throw. He's rolling out to his left and throws a jump ball in the back of the end zone, and fucking Stephon Diggs grabs it in the back of the end zone. They go up. I don't remember what the score was at the time. Right? So then, so they go for 2. Got you. So it's 29-26 Bills, because they went for 2 to make a field goal to tie. Right? So then Chiefs and Mahomes gets the ball, throws a slant to Tyreek Hill, who takes it 62 yards untouched. He hit his peace sign, which is supposed to be a penalty. He hit his peace sign on a guy who was in front of him. The linebacker is running to get the angle to cut him off, and he hits him with a deuces while he's in front of him and burns his ass all the way to the end zone. They scored in like 10 seconds. So now it's or a little less than 10 seconds, but it's a minute left, right? So let me see. The Chiefs go 33-29 with 1:02 left. Bills get the ball. They go 6 plays in 49 seconds, score with 13 seconds left, score a touchdown, kick the extra point, and it's 33 to 36. Bills are up. 13 seconds left. Mahomes gets the ball. They run 3 plays in 13 seconds. The same amount. The Cowboys couldn't run 1, by the way.
Looking at you, Dak.
He threw a slant to Tyreek. They called timeout because they had 2 left. Threw a slant to Tyreek. He gained like 20 yards. They ran a play. He throws that out of bounds, and then they run another one. Get Kelsey up the seam. He goes down. They call timeout. Kick a field goal. Go into overtime. Chiefs get the ball. Win the game. Couple things. First of all, like I said, that's the greatest game of football I've ever seen. It was back and forth, and both quarterbacks played fantastic. Like, Josh Allen looked like Cam Newton in his prime, but he could throw better than Cam Newton ever could. It was fantastic. Patrick Mahomes did Patrick Mahomes shit. It was fantastic to watch. And yeah, it was fantastic. Best game of football I've ever seen in my life. Now, to the overtime rules, which was a big talking point this week. I personally think, how about this? In 2018, the Chiefs, it goes to overtime in Kansas City against the Patriots. Tom Brady completes 3 straight 3rd and 10s to score a touchdown in overtime and win the game. But the biggest complaint was, Mahomes never got to see the ball. So that's not fair. The Chiefs actually petitioned to get the rules changed in 2018. It was so rejected that it didn't even go to a vote. Nobody said that's acceptable, right? Then this happens again, and everybody's like, Josh Allen didn't get a chance to touch the ball. The Bills were one of the teams that rejected it. So I don't want to hear about this. Well, it's not fair. You had a chance to overturn the rules, and you said no. Sorry. What do you think about the overtime rules?
I've always thought football in general is stupid. Just do another quarter.
Like basketball?
Yeah, just do another quarter.
The
And if you don't want to do a full quarter, do what the NBA does.
The problem is...
Do halvesies.
Football is so physical. They don't want the game played more. They don't want it to go longer. That's why it's a sudden death overtime. Because the NFL's goal is to get they don't want more snaps. They don't want more collisions. The goal is to play the least amount of football as you can realistically get away with. If you can't win it in overtime or in regulation, and the other team gets the ball, it's tough luck. And the idea that
stop them.
That too. The Bills had the number 1 pass defense in the NFL. They got torched for 400 yards. Is that's their fault? Like that's the Chiefs' fault? And the same thing applies to the Chiefs. You had 3 chances at 3rd and 10 to stop Tom Brady, and you couldn't. That's on you. Now, granted, their defense was significantly worse than I think it was actually the worst defense in football the year that Brady did that. So I don't think you can complain about that. And I will say this: I don't want it to be college rules because college isn't even football. You start at the 25, and people are like, well, it gives the defense a chance. But a great defense might not let you get to the 25. You start in field goal range, especially for an NFL kicker. It's dumb. I did hear an interesting one. Nick Wright was saying, how about we do this for overtime rules, right? So you flip the coin, no coin toss, all right? So the Chiefs and Bills go in. The Chiefs have, you bid essentially for who gets the ball first. The Chiefs say, I'm willing to have the ball on the 10-yard line and go 90 yards to score. And the Bills said, we want the ball at the 25 to go score. Well, the Chiefs have more difficult. They get to start with the ball. You know what I'm saying? Then it's how much are you willing to, how much confidence do you have in your offense? Because somebody might say, I want the ball to 50. I don't think my offense can go that far. But then the other team's more than likely going to get the ball. Another one Colin Cowherd was talking about was do it like this. Before the game starts, you flip a coin, and you know who gets the ball going into overtime. And you announce, hey, they do the coin toss, blah, 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 and then the PA announcer says, oh, by the way, if this game goes into overtime, the Ravens get the ball first in overtime. You know ahead of time, and then it might change the end-of-game strategy. Maybe the other team doesn't want to go for a tie because the Ravens start with the ball first. Who knows? Maybe they have to go for a touchdown instead of a field goal. Maybe it changes that way. I don't know. But I personally think the rules, maybe you modify it a little bit, but they already did. If you hold them to a field goal, you get the ball. You can go kick a field goal. There have been ties in the NFL before. You can score a touchdown and then win the game. It all comes down to a stop. I know stopping Patrick Mahomes is damn near impossible, especially in the playoffs. But I digress. That's how I feel. Anyway, matchups going into the Super Bowl. So the conference championship in the AFC is 49ers and Rams. That's the NFC. That's the NFC. 49ers and Rams. And then the AFC is Bengals Chiefs.
Chiefs.
You said that really quick.
Yeah.
Even though Joe Burrow had like 450 yards and 4 touchdowns last time they played.
Against the Chiefs? Chiefs.
Jamar Chase had like 230 yards receiving.
Chiefs. They're not going to be able to keep up with that offense.
What they want. Now, granted, they did win on some questionable play calling or refereeing at the end of the game that gave them the chance to run out the clock, in which they wouldn't have been able to run out the clock.
Patrick Mahomes is also undefeated in the playoffs, unless it's against Tom Brady. And where's Tom Brady at?
Unless it's against Tom Brady and unless he's at a severe disadvantage.
Where's Tom Brady at?
He's not here, baby. He's gone. Anyway, I think
Chiefs.
You're right. Chiefs win that game. I think it's going to be 37-21 Chiefs. I think they win by 16.
Could you imagine if it's the Bengals and Rams in the Super Bowl?
Can you imagine me not watching the Super Bowl? Because that's what I'm not going to do.
I don't think so.
I don't think I'm watching Chiefs. I will say this. I want Rams Chiefs. It's what I picked before the season, and if that ends up being true, I'll be very happy.
You had Niners and Chiefs.
Yeah, sorry. Niners Chiefs in the Super Bowl. That was my look. I wrote it down just so we know my believies are right here. Super Bowl picks. I wrote it down November 2nd, 2020. I edited, but that's not when I took it. But yeah, right there. Chiefs Niners. Chiefs win. You had Chiefs Bucks, so you're automatically wrong, which I'm happy with, by the way.
I just thought the Bucks were going to go back because they brought everyone back.
But I want to talk about that. It's in Bullshit Cabela says, but I want to talk about it anyway. They brought everyone back, and everyone's like, "Oh, they were so good last year. They had the hottest defense. And Tom Brady's going to lead that offense. He's only going to be better a second year." Blah blah blah. Hold on, they were 11-5 last year. They weren't that great at 11-5, And when you think about their playoff run, they beat Taylor Heineke, Drew Brees aged to 95 on the field live. It was crazy. Aaron Rodgers just gargled. Tom Brady threw 3 second-half interceptions and won the game. That's not a dominant team. They didn't dominate. Oh, they look so good against the Bucs. Tom Brady had 72 air yards that whole game, and Patrick Mahomes had 5 new starting offensive linemen. 2 had gotten hurt before the playoffs. 1 got hurt in the playoffs, and the other 2 that were starting were playing different positions than they had all year. And he had literally the most pressure ever in any NFL game ever. The defense was dominant. The offense was not dominant. They were subject to getting injured and not having the same quality of players around them.
That defense was making terrible plays.
Yeah. The defense was... The Chiefs defense was awful.
Fucking terrible.
On that one drive before half, they gave Tom Brady 3 extra chances to go score a touchdown. And he did. Because you know why? You can't give that man that many extra chances.
Well, Tyrann Mathieu made him mad. So.
Well, that was after halftime. Ugh. And there was an interception taken away by some bullshit that the Chiefs had that was taken
pass
away
interference that, wasn't pass interference?
There were 2 pass interference calls on that touchdown drive. They were utter bullshit. 25 yards over Mike Evans' head. Oh, he tripped. Pass interference? No, it was uncatchable.
I get it.
In the
Mike
back of the
Evans
end zone.
Is 6'5", but Jesus Christ.
In the back of the end zone. He throws it fucking way up there. Whoa, pass interference. It's not. It was very poorly officiated and very poor offensive scheme by the Chiefs. But
yeah, they didn't change anything.
The running it back. Oh, Tom Brady was so good this year. Again, he threw the ball more than 200 times more than the next closest guy. He threw the ball a lot. Their goal going into the season was to get him attempts. Well, he has no running game. No, they don't try to run the running game. He had the best pass blocking offensive line in the NFL outside of the fucking Browns or some shit. Or maybe it was Jalen Hurts. Because Jalen Hurts had the longest time in the pocket to throw or something. But they didn't want to run the ball. Don't tell me Leonard Fournette and Ronald Jones aren't good, because I'm going to call bullshit. They're fine. They're great. They're really above average NFL starting running backs. I'd take one of them on my team, although we do have David Montgomery. He's really good. But Leonard Fournette and Ronald Jones are really good. Well, they didn't have Ronald Jones in the playoffs. They had Leonard Fournette, and Giovanni Bernard was supposed to save him. Remember that shit? Listen, the Bucs weren't that good to start with. They got lucky at the end of the year last year. They didn't get lucky this time. They tried. They fucking tried, but it didn't happen.
Rams did try to give him the game.
Dog, how do you have 4 fumbles? And by the way, none of it was on Matt Stafford. And he was going to get fucking killed. He didn't do anything wrong in the second half. Now, granted, he didn't have as many passing yards, but again, you're trying to run the ball. Trying to run the clock out. Get us out of here. So, he only had 72 passing yards in the second half. And he won the game. So, fuck him. Now, I think it's going to be Chiefs 49ers. However, if I could pick the matchup, or my brain... Well, I want to say this. My heart wants Chiefs Niners because that's what I picked. My brain wants Chiefs Rams because that game would be exciting as fuck. Remember the fucking 52-47 game a couple years ago on Monday Night Football? Fucking bananas. I don't think it'd be quite that high scoring, but I think it would be way more exciting than Rams Bengals or Bengals.
Are the Rams where they are if they never make that Stafford trade?
No, because Jared Goff can't do what Matt Stafford did at the end of the game. He might be able to pull off the Cooper Kupp out route because he was so wide open, but that deep pass, it had to take timing, it had to take accuracy. They were running a blitz, so he had to get it off quick. I think I don't think they can do it. I'm not saying Jared Goff can't win games, because he can. He got to a Super Bowl. Now, granted, a lot of that was on the strength of the defense. However, and he had a better running game back then. But I think they're definitely where they are right now because of Matt Stafford. Cooper Kupp isn't where he is with Jared Goff. Not to take anything from Cooper Kupp. He's good. He's really good. He's a top 5 receiver. But he doesn't put up numbers like that without Matt Stafford. And I personally, like I said, I would prefer Chiefs Rams. I think that would be the more exciting game. But that's just me.
I don't want San Francisco to go to the Super Bowl.
Why?
We're gonna lose.
You might not. I'll say. So I sent this video to him and Mo in our group chat. So this guy was like, "Hey, 2 years ago, we had the Chiefs 49ers Super Bowl, and the Chiefs won. And then the world went to shit. The 49ers have a chance to right the world. If they go to the Super Bowl and beat the Chiefs, it'll reset everything and we'll be back to normal." So I think you should hope for that, honestly. So you're picking Rams, Chiefs? You think Rams beat you guys? Even though they haven't beaten you in 6 years or 3 years?
Yeah.
You believe you sounded real low on that, yeah, fella. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm sad.
Come on, bro.
I'm sad. I know, I'm sad.
Why? Your team is in the NFC Championship game.
Yeah, just to lose.
They're gonna win.
I don't think so.
They're going to the Super Bowl.
I don't think so.
Yeah. Jimmy G's gonna throw 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Y'all gonna win the game.
No, okay.
Yeah.
Jimmy G is gonna get hurt in a third.
Even better, Trey Lance is gonna come in and dominate.
A sprained wiener.
Okay, well, you took it too far there. How am I supposed to follow a sprained wiener, dog? What am I supposed to do with that shit? God damn it. I want to talk about Skip Bayless in a positive way for 1 second. So, like I told you a couple weeks ago, he did start. I know it sucks. It's gonna feel really bad coming out of here, but a couple weeks ago, he started his own podcast. Stop! He started his own podcast where it's not even a co-host. It's literally Skip all the time.
Skippered?
There's not a, like Shannon does Club Shay Shay where he has people and he like interviews them kind of. They have a discussion. Skip is all Skip all the time, and it is unfiltered, unfettered.
Nobody's there to argue with him.
It is all Skip. And he was asked.
Skip and Bip.
He talked about.
Skip, Bip, and Chip.
He talked about, and we talked last week about how he takes it really seriously. He takes his job extremely seriously. He doesn't talk to Shannon between commercials. He goes off by himself and studies the next points. Like, he takes it like he's in a sporting event. And I respect him for that because it's why he's so good at it. While I think most of what he says is bullshit, he is good at his job and he tries really hard to be good at his job. He gets credit for that. Okay? However, he's so dedicated, right? So his first wife, he was like, I'm not ready to have kids, and I don't know if I'll be ready to have kids because I'm so dedicated to this. I will not be able to give them what they need and they deserve because kids need their parents. That's what they need, and I'm not willing to do that. So I'm not going to have kids, which I respect because some people don't want to have kids, and when they don't have kids and then have kids, generally doesn't work out well. So I respect him for knowing I don't want kids. He told his current wife when he met her, their first date, he said, "Listen, just so you know, you will always be second. My career and my job come first, and that's just the way it is." She was like, "Okay, I get it. I respect it." They're married. She knows where she stands. He said on the weekends, I'm watching games. She knows that's what I do. However, after the games are over, we spend some time together, and that's just the way it is. But I respect that about him, about knowing who he is as a person. He's like, if I had a kid, I'm afraid it would be like my mom and dad, who were alcoholics, and his dad was very abusive. So him knowing that about himself, I respect a lot, and I think he should be commended for that. That's just me. However, he did talk about how important Tom Brady was to him, and that was embarrassing. Now, his whole premise of why he relates.
Did you see that grown man almost cry on TV?
No.
You didn't see it?
I probably did.
When he was talking on Undisputed about it, bro, I thought that man was about to cry.
He did get really sad because
I think he was
when Tom Brady retires and when he announces it for real, Skip Bayless is gonna cry on TV, and it's gonna be kind of fun to watch. I'm not gonna lie, but he said he loves Tom Brady. Obviously, he loves Tom Brady, but his whole shtick, I don't understand why he related it to age for his whole career. You know what I'm saying? Because he was like, I relate to Tom Brady because he's doing it as the old guy in the business, and I'm the old guy in the business, and I'm still doing it. And I've had people telling me that I need to retire, but I feel like I'm the best I've ever been, and I feel like I'm doing so good at my craft, I don't want to give it up yet. And Tom Brady's the same way. His family are coming out and telling him he needs to retire and all this stuff, and I feel like he can relate to Tom Brady in that manner. Because he said his exact quote was, I'm the 44 in my business. Like, people are trying to push me out the door because I'm the old guy. I'm 44 in my business.
Who's trying to tell Skip to retire?
Everybody. Dog, go look at one of his tweets, and all the replies are, "Shouldn't you be in bed, old man?" I'm like, God damn, y'all are savages. But anyway.
Yeah. Turn Twitter off.
He can't, bro. He's got 3 million followers, and it makes me so angry. He's got 3 million followers. He follows nobody. He tweets out into the universe, doesn't follow anybody. He does what you're supposed to do on Twitter. Tweet out some bullshit and then turn off Twitter. He doesn't care. He doesn't read any of the replies. He can give a fuck. He just tweets out and then goes away. It's annoying to see the giant number next to the 0. You're like, what? Follow somebody. Follow Ernestine. Follow your wife.
Follow The Rock.
Follow Skip. Or Skip. God damn it. Follow Shannon.
Undisputed?
No, he don't follow nobody. He said, I don't care. I don't care what they have to say. They just have to see what I say. I'm like, bro, what the fuck? Anyway.
So what's his Twitter feed look like? Just him?
I've never showed you his Twitter feed, bro. I sent it to y'all a couple weeks ago when Brady lost. Literally,
it's just him. Right?
7. Yeah, it's just him. It's all him. And his tweets. He had like 7 or 8 tweets in a row, fully capitalized. It was so funny. He was going through and seeing Brady lose. He held caps lock and just typed all his shit. It was
on his big ass typewriter.
Yeah, on his typewriter. I don't know how you do caps lock on the typewriter, but he figured it out. He shouted that shit into the internet. It was great. The fucking one of my little news clips that picks up, like if you swipe on your phone, you have a list of like recommended news articles, and the top one was the Bucks Rams game had Skip in a caps lock fueled Twitter rant or some shit. I was dying. Seeing that man in pain was great. His Cowboys lost week 1. Tom Brady loses week 2. I'm good. But again, gotta give the man respect where respect is due. Now, let's talk about Pokemon real quick. The new Pokemon game, Pokemon Legends Arceus, came out. You can say it either way. It's spelled with a C, so you could say Arceus or Arceus. I say Arceus. I always said Arceus, but I saw somebody with a video that made a really good point, and I was like, Arceus it is. But anyway, it takes place a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. Literally a galaxy far, far away, because you fall out of a wormhole, and that's how your main character starts the game. So I'm not sure. I'm about 35, maybe an hour into it. It's really fun. It's like what you dream of Pokemon in your head. Like when you're playing the game and you see yourself crawling around and shit. That's what it is. You have to gather your own. You always have to gather your own items, but like, it's more like a Monster Hunter or an actual RPG where you control the whole camera. You can look around. You have to get out of the way of like aggressive Pokemon, for example, Shinx. It was aggressive. It will attack you if you don't get out of the way or battle it. Like it's what you imagine Pokemon really is. And I'm very excited to see where it goes as I go on. I'll give you all updates on how I'm feeling about the game, but I'm super excited. It looks awesome. You gotta craft Pokeballs, like crafting, like a RPG. You craft shit. You don't just go buy Pokeballs because they aren't made yet, and people don't know how to throw them and shit. Like it's really weird. It takes place in what becomes the Sinnoh region. You didn't play that one, right? I think that's Gen 5. I think that's Gen 5 with Palkia and Dialga, or is that 4?
I don't know, but no. I'm going to go with no. I didn't play it.
You played 3, though. You played Emerald.
Yep.
That was the last one you played? Okay, I think it's the
one. And then I skipped all the way to Black and White, and then
You played Black and White. See, I didn't even play Black and White. I stopped at 3 and came back at Gen 6. I was gone for like fucking 8 years or something in the middle there. But
I lost interest when one of the Pokemon is literally trash bags.
He is trash bags.
And then he evolves into like dumpster.
Garbodor. Yeah.
And it's Garbodor.
Garbodor is cool. I tried. Listen.
It smells like shit.
Okay, but what is muck? Muck is he's literal doo-doo that you catch. He's actually poop.
And nobody uses Grimer or Muck.
First of all, I like Muck a lot. And Ash used Muck to win a battle.
Muck
in
do.
There's an Alolan Muck.
Have
you ever seen Alolan Muck?
Muck yourself.
No, I'm gonna muck all over your face.
Whoa, hey! This is a family show.
No, it's not. That's Alolan Muck.
It looks terrible.
It's awful. What is that,
a melted gobstopper?
No, so apparently, I don't know the lore behind why he became rainbow like that. He's a dark type. He's a poison dark type.
It's a melted gobstopper.
Here, y'all want to see? Look. It's fucking Alolan Muck right there. He is freaking ugly. But, I never used him. I did like Muck. I don't like Garbodor. I don't like Vanillish. And Vanillite and Vanillux.
And there's a Chandelier.
First of all, Chandelure is cool. Don't
do that.
Lumiere from Beauty and the Beast. That's what you name him. You don't have your Pokemon names on deck. That's why you don't like Chandelure, because that's Lumiere right there. That's dope.
You know, I named them like Paul and Rupert. I know I didn't.
Bro, so check it out, right? So I have I threw my phone on the floor. Why did I do that? I have a Pokemon emulator on my phone. Well, I have a Game Boy emulator that I'm playing Pokemon on. I'm playing Emerald. I'm playing a ROM hack of Emerald. So it's essentially, it's like they have more recent moves. They have the Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire games that came out. It's that story in Emerald. So it has like a more complete story. It has like link cable, so you can put the link cable on Pokemon that need to be traded. They evolve like it's convenience and stuff. And I'm playing it on here. I play it when I have time at work, right? And I caught a shiny in the game. I caught my second shiny that I can remember off the top of my head. I've caught 2 shinies in my life. One was in Pokemon Fire Red. I caught a Marowak, which was green. And I caught a shiny Trapinch in this game that I'm very excited about. That's going to evolve into Flygon, so I'm very excited about that. But speaking of shinies, did you know the reason there are so many green shinies is because when they went from red and blue to gold and silver, they just switched color palettes. So a lot of the Pokemon ended up being green just because of the way the color palette was. And that's how it ended up being green. Like fucking Espeon is just green. It looks disgusting. And then Umbreon is fucking dope. It's got blue in the black circle. Oh, it's so sick. Anyway, shiny Pokemon. I don't get that. Have you seen watch these dudes make shiny hunting, bro?
No.
Bro. They get on Twitch like we are right now, and they shiny hunt for hours. Like they have a little counter in the bottom corner. They're like, oh, it's been 3,567 attempts, and we still haven't gotten a shiny fucking bird. I couldn't do it. I'm not gonna lie to you.
No.
Like they're cool, but I'm not about to. I'm not.
Bro,
no.
No.
Dog, you can get a shiny starter. After you save before you get the starters, and you reset the game over and over, and you have to play through the opening battle over and over and over again until you have like a 1% chance of your starter Pokemon being shiny. That does not sound fun to me. I get it. Shiny Pokemon are cool. Not cool enough for me to reset something thousands of times.
The only thing I ever did that to was when I had 2 Game Boys and 2 copies. I just restarted one over again so I could get all 3 starters in the beginning of the game.
That's not weird, though. That's like a normal thing kids did.
Okay. Good.
No, that's a cool thing.
Except I never got... The only leaf Pokemon I ever got was...
And grass type, you jackass.
Bulbasaur.
You don't like any other grass starters?
No, bro, they're trash.
I've replayed those first few games enough. I've used all 3 of the starters at least once. The highest level I ever got off the top of my head was for Alligator. I got him up to 85. I've never had a level 100.
I have.
Mewtwo?
Nope.
Rayquaza?
Nope. Scizor.
Why?
I don't know.
You like that? You like that dude?
Yeah, bro. Red's my favorite color. Scyther.
Scizor's really dope. Check this out. So there's a new Pokemon in the Legends Arceus game. It's an offshoot evolution of Scyther, and he's got axe blades for hands. I'm gonna catch him and name him Levi because he's got twin swords like Levi. Oh, shit. He's got to be a badass because Levi is dope.
Hope you don't run into any big feeds, Dad.
You got. All right. Speaking of big feeds, I want one more. Hold on. Legends. So did you ever like Ursaring?
What?
Ursaring,
the big
ass bear. I liked him. I think he was dope. After I've watched some videos of him in the show, and I actually like him more as a Pokemon now. Arceus Ursaring. That'll get me close enough, right? Yeah. Thanks, Google. All right, images. So check out this evolution for Ursaring, right? That's Ursaring, and it evolves into that. Yeah.
I hope you can hear the disappointment without words.
Like, Ursaring is awesome. He's a big, angry grizzly bear. And
by the way, evolves into a cute little... from a little cute little...
Yeah. Teddy Ursa. Little baby Teddy Ursa. It's like a teddy bear you can hold and sleep with.
It's like a little fellow.
Yeah. What? FYI. I know what FYI means. I don't know what that first word means, but thanks for watching. We appreciate you hanging out on YouTube, by the way. Appreciate you. But yeah, Legends Arceus sounds good. I'll play it a little longer, but I know maybe there's some Pokemon still somewhere in there. This might be the game that brings you back, at least for these style of games. At least for these style. Maybe you don't want to go collect the 8 gym badges. Maybe you don't want to go through the week story. This one where you actually have to be a Pokemon trainer might be a little maybe. I don't think I have anything else except bullshit Skip Bayless says. We talked about the Brady thing. Oh, so Skip was saying that this was going to be his hardest run ever, because Brady was missing his best offensive lineman in Tristan Wirfs. Tristan Wirfs' backup got hurt, and I think they were on their third string. They had to move a couple guys around, so he didn't have his offense at full strength. Godwin was out. They lost AB. Blah, 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 blah. How come that's not okay for Brady, but when Mahomes was missing his entire offensive line, that's no excuse? Because that was what he said last year.
Next man up.
Also, Tom Brady's the GOAT. He does more with less, right? Less is in Mike Evans and Gronk and Cameron Brate are bad.
Next man up.
Yeah, this is pretty bad. He's pretty bad. Let me see here. By the way, he had a 13 QBR. Tom Brady had a 13. For context, Aaron Rodgers had a 16, and Jimmy Garoppolo had a 12. So, that's embarrassing. And by the way, Jimmy Garoppolo won. Lowest QBR of the weekend, won the game. That's kind of weird. Let me see here. Let me see. Everybody, we talked about the Bucs coming back. Yeah. He says Tyreek Hill. He says Josh Allen outplayed Patrick Mahomes because he doesn't have players of Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce's caliber.
So he just forgets about Stephon Diggs?
Well, Stephon Diggs isn't as good as Tyreek Hill. However, if you lined up the Bills and the Chiefs receivers, Tyreek Hill would be number 1, but Stephon Diggs would be number 2. Mecole Hardman is going to go above Stephon Diggs? Also, Cole Beasley's a pretty good slot receiver. I don't like him, but he's really good out of the slot.
He's a very good route runner.
I mean,
very good.
He was excellent for them last year. Now this year he's missed a lot of games. He was injured and now in the lineup, so I don't think people really remember, but he's really good. Matt Breida is super fast out of the backfield for them. Now they don't run the ball, but if they did, they got a good running back. I mean, he's at least as good as Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Obviously tight end is Kelsey, but Dawson Knox has had a great season. Yes, the Mahomes has the two better offensive weapons, but to say that disqualifies him from performing well.
Don't say the Bills have a bad one because you're comparing it to a really good offense.
It just doesn't feel right in my mouth. Like, whoa, Allen played better because he doesn't have as good a talent. But for example, LeBron James against the Golden State, he played better. But you said Kevin Durant was the best player in the world after that series. He didn't have the same talent around him, but LeBron wasn't as good as Kevin Durant, even though he put up better numbers than Kevin Durant. You know what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? That doesn't make any sense. You can't just say because of the supporting cast that the other dude played well. Even he was amazing. Don't get me wrong, but he ended up losing because Patrick Mahomes is a little bit better, maybe a lot better, depending on what your opinions are. So they like to give grades on that show. Matt Stafford gets a B because he wasn't very good, but he won the game. He gets a B, blah, 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 right? He gave Tom Brady an A-.
Of course he did.
How? He wouldn't even be in that position unless his defense forced 4 turnovers. 3 of which in the second half, by the way. An A-, Skip? A- seems a little bit suspect.
Are you grading on a curve? The Tom Brady curve? Slightly to the left.
Oh, I was gonna say the same thing. I can't lie. He was saying that they were arguing about LeBron because that's what they do. He said LeBron isn't playing that well. His free throws are ranked 77th in the NBA. His 3-point percentage is 90th in the NBA. He isn't averaging as many assists. Now, by the way, his talk about assists, right? He's like, well, 2 years ago when the Lakers won the championship, LeBron was averaging 10 assists a game, and now that's plummeted to 6.5. That is just. No wonder the Lakers aren't winning. LeBron isn't handling the ball as much. Hold on. What position did LeBron play when they won the championship?
Point guard.
And who plays point guard for the Lakers now?
Westbrook.
Okay. And also a significant drop-off, by the way, from 10, which is the most he ever averaged in his career, and now he's just under his career average. His 6.4 right now that he's averaging this season, still more than Michael Jordan ever averaged at any point in his career ever. So that's weird. You emphasize assists so much, but you don't care when he doesn't do it. But I digress. Let me see here. By the way, his free throws right now would be a career high. I think he's like at 75% right now, which is good for LeBron. Not great, but good for LeBron. His 3-point percentage, also going to be a career high. His assists, 6.5. That's with Russell Westbrook on his team and Anthony Davis missing 17 games. Those are a lot of easy assists. But hey, his defensive efficiency, yeah, he's a billion. And when they're like, hey, LeBron, we need help, 2 steals back to back off on the Nets to give him a 8-point lead in the fourth quarter. You know, he can still play defense when he needs to. He just can't play it the whole game. Which, by the way, is the biggest reason why the Lakers aren't succeeding the way we expected them to. It's not Anthony Davis missing time. Obviously, LeBron missing time is a big deal. But if LeBron could impact the game, like his scoring, he's scoring more than he ever has in his career. But his defense isn't the same. And that's why they're not winning the same amount of games. Because he can't impact the ball all the time like he used to could. So when it goes on defense, he has to be like, he has to take a breather. And people are like, well, clearly LeBron sucks at defense. No, he needs a break. And when he locks in on defense, he's still a top, 20 defender. What are you doing, bro?
Hanging out.
Fuck, man, I'm about tired of your shit right now, dog. Let me see here. Oh, here's the other thing that don't make any goddamn sense, and we talked about it a couple times. But he was like, LeBron's shooting so many threes because he's only focused on catching Kareem. Right? He said he's only scoring so many points because he wants to catch Kareem. Side note: LeBron at one point said, if I wanted to, I could win the scoring title every year. I don't want to. And everybody was like, that's bullshit. Year 19, LeBron is now scoring the most points he ever has in his career, and is probably going to win the scoring title because Kevin Durant isn't playing. What? Wait, so doesn't that give credence to that? Year 19, he's averaging the most points ever because he has to. And also, the whole chasing Kareem thing. Well, he figured out that 3's worth more than 2. First of all, you don't figure that out. It's kind of something you just know. Second of all, against the Nets, he was 11-11 from the field that wasn't 3. So it's not like he's not taking and not making 2-point shots. Like if he was taking 15 threes and 4...
Yeah, it's like if he's yakking them up, but he's not.
And also, he's still shooting 36%. Now, granted, he'll go in slumps like he's one for...
He's not a 3-point shooter, though. Like, he can make them.
Yeah. It's just... Jordan developed an outside shot the later he got in his career. Kobe moved... Not moved out is the wrong word. But he was a slasher. Then he was an aggressive dunker, and he's always been great from mid-range. But then he developed a post game. Then he developed an outside shot, and then he was able to. His jumper got better as he got older. Same thing that LeBron's doing. He's got to turn around post fade.
Players need to do that.
Vince Carter was a 3-point shooter when his career ended because you can't just drop. Well, he's the greatest driver of the basketball I've ever seen. Yeah, but you know what? You can't do that every single game at 37 anymore. You can't. You got to take a break. But I guess LeBron's not allowed to take breaks because he's the best. So one of his offhanded comments he was throwing out this week was Mahomes, he was struggling earlier this year, and I blame most of the struggling on him trying to make Globetrotter-esque behind the back, between the legs passes. It's so irritating because he did a left-handed pass one time. He was being chased to the left. The defender was about to get him. He just kind of pushed it. One time. That's it. Nobody's ever expected him to do it again, and no one ever expected him to do it the one time. But Skip always go back to, well, he tries too many left-handed passes. Well, I can't wait for him to pull out a behind the back or between the legs pass. That's only you who's ever said that. Well, his no-look passes, every quarterback does it now. Well, we know about it more because of Mahomes. Matt Stafford was throwing no-look passes a long time ago. Aaron Rodgers says, I was doing no-look passes, and I saw Matt Stafford doing them. That's where I started learning it from. This is not a new thing. We saw him do it against the Ravens on 4th and 10 to go win a game in overtime, and we're like, holy shit, that was the coolest thing ever. And so they did interviews on it and blah, blah, blah. And yeah, he gets a lot of credit for it, but it's not like he does it every throw. The Skip is looking for a reason to hate the kid, and that's not the one I would pick. Well, he was slumping because maybe he was just in a slump. By the way,
the whole offense slumped for like 6 games.
And it was the first time he's ever played bad in his career ever. Well, he threw so many interceptions this year. Less than Joe Burrow. Less than maybe one more than Tom Brady. But he's terrible. Well, he didn't throw as many touchdown passes. You want him to throw 45 every year? That's not normal. He started so high, and I think that's why people's bar is so high. Well, he's had a down year. He threw 35 touchdowns and 12 picks. That's a good year. Well, Tom Brady had 45. He threw the ball 200 more times. All the time. Skip doesn't like the little 1 yard running back touchdowns. Well, this shouldn't really count as a touchdown. You got it from 1 yard out. But he likes it when Tom Brady throws a 2 yard screen pass in the end zone. What the fuck is the difference? But I digress.
Because one of them is Thomas Brady.
The other thing he said, and he snuck it in on a low, and I didn't hear it, so I had to go back and listen to it. He was like talking about how good Joe Burrow was this year and how Joe Burrow tore up the Ravens, who, by the way, were all starting practice squad corners and safeties when he played them. He did throw for like 500 yards. Dope. But it was against the Ravens practice squad players. He threw for 449 against the Chiefs or whatever. And he was like, I think when it's all said and done and their careers are over, Joe Burrow is going to be better than Patrick Mahomes.
All right.
With the Bengals, first of all.
The Bangies? Huh?
I will say.
Bringing it back from last week, the Bangies?
The fucking Bangies. By the way, Jamar Chase is really good. He might get really, really good. And, well, going into Sunday's game, the Chiefs had the better offensive weapons. Do they? Tyreek Hill's better than Jamar Chase right now. But Tyler Boyd, Jamar Chase, and T. Higgins as a trio are probably better than Tyreek Hill, Mecole Hardman, and Byron Pringle.
Always forget about the Pringy.
Josh Gordon's on that team still. So
he's gonna get a Super Bowl.
Who's a better running back? Jerick McKinnon and Clyde Edwards-Helaire, or Joe Mixon?
Joe Mixon.
Joe Mixon's a better player. Now, granted, Patrick Mahomes has the better offensive line. He has the better coach. But the receiving core, you could flip it. As a whole core, if you're counting tight ends, the Chiefs probably take it because Kelsey's better. And I can't name the Bengals receiving tight end. But
Tyler Boyd.
No, he's the receiver.
Oh.
T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd are the receivers.
Fella Fitzsimmons.
I just Burrow is amazing this year. And I think with the super tough division he was in, which, by the way, interesting thing, check this out. The teams that are no longer in the playoffs, the division winners that are no longer in the playoffs, the Cowboys, the Bucks, and the Packers. The three worst divisions in the NFC.
And the Titans, right?
And the Titans. Those are the worst divisions. And then you got the Chiefs, who are in the AFC AFC West. That's one of the better divisions, especially quarterback-wise, in the
Chargers,
NFL.
bro.
Chargers, and then Derek Carr's no slouch. Now, the Rams need help, but Derek Carr could start on about 15 other NFL teams. He's good. He's above average. But Herbert and Mahomes are freaks. Then you've got two teams from your division, which is the best division in football. You got two teams left from them. And then you've got the Bengals from the NFC North, the best division in football. I think one of the better divisions in football, probably third. I think playing in a tough division is better than playing in the NFC East like the Cowboys do. Because you're tested half of your games are contested, solid games. The Cowboys play 2 games against the Giants, 2 games against the Commandos, I think they're going to be, or some shit. Those teams are bad. And the Eagles are middle bad. Like, they made the playoffs, but they're not great. So, it's proof, because you don't have to, like, Mike McCarthy doesn't have to stress about clock management against the fucking Cowboys, against the Giants.
Yep.
But if he played the Chiefs every other week, oh shit, we gotta be on our. He barely beat the Chargers this year. If he had to play the fucking in the NFC West, he would probably be a little bit more ready for crunch time situations because he would face them. He doesn't face those now. Same thing with the Packers. The Packers play in a shit division. The first time they face adversity in the playoffs, they lose. You have to get battle tested, and I think that matters. I think a lot of you want to. Oh well, I'll take the Cowboys job.
That's why like when the teams come out of our division, they're sneaky good.
I don't even think it's sneaky, man. Like
they're not pretty good. Like they're not like flashy.
Yeah.
They're nitty gritty. They're gonna.
Well, to be fair, that's your division outside of. Hold on, the Seahawks and the Niners are gritty as fuck. I think the Rams can play gritty because that defense is super aggressive. And they run the ball a little bit.
Cardinals need to.
But the Cardinals are not gritty. However, they're a good team. They were the number 1 seed, or most people's they thought the best team in football.
If Hopkins doesn't get hurt.
Yeah, if Hopkins doesn't get hurt, that's a different team. But I still don't think they're going to do anything in the playoffs, even with Hop. I think That's a good team. They made the playoffs, yeah? Who'd they lose to?
Cardinals? I don't think so.
No.
Yeah, they lose in the wild card round.
They lost in the wild card round, right? To
I don't know.
the Niners? No, that's impossible, right? Who'd you beat week 1?
Cowboys.
You're right. Maybe, hold on.
How about them Cowboys?
God, it's so good seeing the Cowboys lose. Hold on.
Ben Roethlisberger retired.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
The bathrooms in Pittsburgh are safe again.
Stop. I mean, you're right, but come on. Fucking
Hall of Famer, right?
Yeah, without a doubt. He should be in the Hall of Fame before Eli Manning. What?
Without Eli Manning, Tom Brady has 2 more rings.
So, okay, there. That's what I want to see. So if we go to the NFC, yeah, they made the playoffs. Who'd they lose to round 1? The Cardinals lost to the
Bucks.
The Bucks played the Eagles. The Packers played
nobody.
They had a bye. The Rams.
Might have been the Rams and them.
Rams and Cardinals. Rams, Bucks. Rams, Niners. Okay, yeah. The Rams beat the Cardinals round 1. But you're right. That division is tough, and the teams that come out of it are generally really tough. But like when you play in a shit division, like the NFC South or the NFC South with the Bucks and the Panthers is going to, if Tom Brady retires, will be the worst division in football, because the Saints just lost Sean Payton. He retired. Well, he's taking it at minimum a year off, but he'll probably come back later. I think he's going to come back to the Cowboys, and I think they're going to fire Mike McCarthy after next season. That's what I think. Because but Sean Payton doesn't want to coach right now. He said, I'm not coaching this year. So I think Jerry Jones and him and Sean Payton are good friends. I think what happened was Jerry knew it was coming, and that's why he hasn't said the whole time we're getting rid of Mike McCarthy. He's never been committed one way or the other because he wanted to see what Sean Payton was going to do. This is speculation. And I think next season the Cowboys probably aren't going to win the Super Bowl because it's the same fucking team. Now, granted, Micah Parsons is really good. They could still potentially lose Kellen Moore this offseason. He's in some head coaching searches. Dan Quinn pulled his name out. He's not going to look for any more jobs. So the team is still going to be good. I think they're going to do the same shit, make the playoffs, lose a game, or maybe they win a game and then lose. They're not going to go to the Super Bowl. They're going to fire Mike McCarthy if he makes it that far. Maybe they're shit and he gets fired early. But Sean Payton will be the next coach of the Dallas Cowboys, I think. He's been linked to that job every time it opens, kind of like Urban Meyer's always linked to the Notre Dame job every time it opens. I think it's just
why though.
Urban, why? Which one? Why Urban? As far as I know, that's always been his dream job. He's always wanted to coach Notre Dame.
Yeah, a lot of good that did for Brian Kelly. That was his dream job, and he fucking ran to LSU. By the way, he is getting clowned right now.
That's because he's been an asshole.
He put out a video, I guess, dancing with a recruit.
Yeah, you saw it. Oh, with the recruit? No, I saw the. Was it on where he was like singing?
It just happened.
Oh no, Jesus! Brian Kelly went south and lost his damn mind.
Lane Kiffin was just talking shit about him on Twitter.
He should. Lane Kiffin is coaching
Ole Miss.
Ole Miss now, really? I thought he was coaching FAU or whatever.
Same.
Maybe he was for a couple years and then moved up to Ole Miss. That's good. Lane Kiffin's a good coach. I think he's an asshole, but he's a good coach.
I think he's taking some shit ass jobs.
Yeah,
when
definitely.
He was the Raiders coach. That was a terrible idea.
Yeah, it was bad. He was the Rams coach or the Raiders coach, wasn't he? He got fired quick though, yeah.
Yeah, he was trash.
And speaking of trash hires, the fucking Bears. What are we doing? So here's the thing: we didn't need a defensive head coach. We needed an offensive coach to get the most out of. Now, maybe this dude's going to get a great offensive coordinator. Maybe he's going to go get a really solid offensive coordinator, and I won't have to worry about that. But we hired a defensive-minded head coach. Fucking can't pronounce his name. The GM we hired was from the Chiefs. He was the assistant director of player personnel for the Chiefs. The only reason we hired that dude was because he was near Patrick Mahomes at one point, basically. Just like everybody
accidentally brushed up against
yeah. Which is the same thing with anybody who worked near McVay. Like for the next 3 years got a job because Sean McVay's the new fucking it guy in the NFL, right? And everybody who was fucking within this close of him got a. If you took a P next to Sean McVay, you got hired the next year, okay? That's the way that worked. I think that's why we hired him. I hope he's really good at his job. Obviously, I don't want my team to suck, but The only defensive-minded guy I wanted anywhere near my football team was Brian Flores. Because he's fucking great. And the only reason he's not in Miami is because the Miami owner wants Tua and Brian Flores doesn't. So he got marched out the door because he doesn't want to try to win with Tua. That's why the rumors came about Deshaun Watson. He wanted to trade Tua and get Deshaun. And the owner's like, no. First of all, I don't know if he can play. And second of all, he's gross. So, I mean, respect to the owner for kind of holding up his morals. But at the same time, you let a great coach walk because he didn't like the quarterback. And I don't know, man. I think that was a terrible idea. I think wherever Brian Flores goes, the Giants are a sleeping giant. I know that's cliche, but they have weapons on offense. Their quarterback is ass. Evan Ingram, Kyle Rudolph, great duo at tight end. Fucking Kenny Galladay, Sterling Shepard, and who's that? They have a third receiver who's decent out there. Saquon Barkley needs a little bit. He needs a threat of a passing game, and he'll be back to what we were seeing before. I think the Giants is a good job, especially if you can work on that defense. That defense was trash.
They let you fucking they let you take a quarterback or trade for one.
I think they were talking about letting Daniel Jones go another year, which is just not the move. I don't think.
Trade to get Jimmy G.
That's honestly not a bad plan.
And give us your 10th round pick, or give us your 10th overall pick.
10th round pick. They have 3 first round picks. They have 3.
Give me one.
Who else has?
So we can get back in the first round, so that we can go
get. The
Jets,
I think, have a lot too.
So we can go get another defensive lineman.
Also, when are you going to apologize about Deebo Samuel? Have you done it on this show yet?
Yeah.
Can you do it again, just real quick?
My bad.
Yeah. You were always negative on Deebo.
It took him like 3 years before he stopped getting hurt.
He's literally carrying your team in the playoffs.
I know.
You should thank him. Now, I will say, you fucked up with Brandon Ayuk. That's going to be a problem because he's bad. Now, maybe he'll have a Deebo turnaround. I don't know.
Bro, remember when we passed on DK Metcalf?
Remember when we did the same? To be fair, we were a little
Y'all
bit better.
traded up to get Mitchell Trubisky, so I don't want to hear shit.
With you, dude. So you took a lineman.
It's Solomon Thomas, who no longer plays for us.
Neither does DeForest Buckner, though. He's reckoning with the Colts. Yeah, the Colts' former defensive coordinator, who coached them this year, is our new head coach.
I know.
They were a good defense. However, when he goes, I guess he does have Roquan.
And Khalil
Mack. Khalil Mack's only got like 1 or 2 years left to being dominant, though. We have to have an offense to let him get some rest because he's always on the damn field. And he doesn't do half-assed. He's running, and eventually the tank goes down. He's fantastic, but I think he needs a little bit of help. Roquan was really good this year. Again, he's going to be a top 5, top 4 middle linebacker next year. Especially maybe this coach helped Darius Leonard be really good. I don't know how long he was there, but so maybe I'm not worried about the defensive side of the ball. We need another corner, but the offensive side, I really wanted Sheldon Day from Ohio State. Sheldon Day, what's his name? Something Day. Jason Day, what's his fucking name? Ohio State's head coach who recruited Justin Fields and coached him for a year. There was rumors we could get that guy.
All the names that came up, and this guy came out of fucking nowhere.
Yeah, Dan Quinn.
It's like your owner doesn't want to win.
McCaskey, yeah, they're terrible. But we can't get rid of the owner. You can't really help that. But if you have a shit owner, it trickles down, man. The Cowboys, I will say this: the Cowboys get a lot of shit. They have drafted better than anyone else in the NFL, outside of maybe Kansas City, if you want to count Patrick Mahomes 6 draft picks, because the fucking Cowboys have had drafted more Pro Bowlers than anybody else by 6 or 7.
They just pay the wrong people, man.
They pay him at the wrong time. I know DeMarcus Lawrence was up, but he clearly had only had 1 year of production. They paid him. He disappeared for 2 years, and then this year he finally had a bounce back. They paid Jalen Smith a tick too early. They didn't find out that he was so aggressive to the ball that he was easily countered by the offense. And that he ran himself out of every play, and now he's going to have to make a team next year. Which is really sad. I was always rooting for him, but it is what it is. They just pay guys early. The Cowboys' job, they have a window. Dak got paid, but his deal doesn't officially kick in for 2 seasons, I think. Diggs, Micah, and CeeDee Lamb are all going to be on rookie deals for the next 3 to 4 years. That job has a 3 or 4 year window. If you get the right coach, Sean Payton or somebody, the Cowboys are going to win a Super Bowl. If Jerry Jones lets them. It's all on Jerry Jones. Back to the whole owner thing. But I truthfully, I don't think I got anything left. What about you, Doug?
No, I'm good. I just wanted to bring up Big Ben and
Big Ben. Yeah, I mean, he's definitely a Hall of Famer. Very solid career. I'll say he kind of went out sad.
I think he played 2 years too many.
I'll give him one because they were 11-0 last year. I think the way you got handled last year in the playoffs, you fought back. You threw like 5 touchdowns. You did throw 4 interceptions, but he fought and he looked like our NFL quarterback at the end of last year against the Browns. Is better than going out with, at one point he had, I think, 30 pass attempts for less than 100 yards or something. Like, he went out tragic this time. And I think if last year he would have gone out, it would have been at least kind of respectable. Because he fought. He threw like 60 passes and like 350 yards. Like, he tried. This year it was like he threw for 130 yards.
They did let everybody go. AB lost his goddamn mind. Le'Veon left.
Those are the big two.
They really thought Juju was going to be somebody.
Damn, man. Who would have thought Juju?
They hit it big on Chase Claypool.
Here's the thing that pissed me off about Juju. Speaking of Chase, again, with a quarterback who can take advantage of him being, I don't know, an athletic freak as opposed to throwing screen passes all the damn time, he's gonna have a bounce back year. If he stops fucking TikTok dancing. Juju. Oh, so Juju said the other day, I think his contract's up. I think he can be a free agent. He said he'd like to go play for the Chiefs. Dog, you were offered the Chiefs job. And you said, no, I want to go back and play for Ben. They're not going to want you back now. I mean, maybe. But he can fill a Sammy Watkins role, I guess. But you were already offered the Chiefs job. For more money, by the way.
He does need to go to a team that has a number 1.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
AB so bad wants to go play for Baltimore.
Dog, he's begging. He's begging. Baltimore,
Somebody photoshopped him in a Baltimore.
He photoshopped him. He put himself in a Ravens jersey and posted that shit.
You're sad.
His cousin is on the Ravens. Lamar and him grew up not at the same time, but they came from the same South Florida area. They know each other a long time. He wants to go play. He would hate the Ravens. If his whole bitching and moaning is actually about pass attempts, which I believe it is, he couldn't play for the Ravens.
No.
A, they don't throw the ball enough, and B, when they throw the ball, I would say 70% of the time it's going to one of the 2 tight ends. And the other times it's going to a running back. And then if it's not completed, Lamar threw a bad pass. That's not the place AB wants to go play. Now,
AB's done. I don't see anybody giving him another shot.
You're so wrong, bro. You're so wrong.
Who's signing him?
Somebody's going to be like, hey, fuck it. We need help. Let's get AB in here. I agree with you. He should be done. We've seen it 4 times now. Shit doesn't work. He's lost it. It's over with. Let him ride off on the sunset. He's going to get another shot, bro. I'm telling you.
The only reason he got another shot this time was because of Tom Brady.
Yeah, maybe.
All right, we'll see.
We will. You want to put some dew on it?
No, I don't want to put any fucking dew on it. Not putting any diet dew on the fucking line.
First of all, I don't want any diet dew. You have to put up real dew.
Diet dew. Hold my dew.
Fucking bud. Oh my god, bro! I told my uncle that TJ liked to eat his apple pie with cheese and shit on it, and my uncle last night goes, anybody who says that shouldn't be allowed to lead people. They clearly don't make good decisions,
bro.
I was dying. I'm like, you're so right. That motherfucker puts bologna on top of cinnamon rolls and shit. Like, I just wanted to fight him after that. But anyway,
apple butter on
hot dogs. We'll go grill. You come out my place, we'll grill. I'll put some apple butter on your hot dogs. I was like, TJ, you put apple butter on my hot dogs, we're fighting. I'm fighting you on the spot. That's disgusting.
Punching you in your yard.
Oh, it's the salty and the sweet. No! You have sweet and then you have salty. You don't fucking mush them.
You want salty and sweet, motherfucker. Eat chocolate-covered pretzels, motherfucker.
There you go. Fucking peanut M&Ms. Peanut butter M&Ms are better, but...
I mean... They're the best.
That's facts. Peanut butter M&Ms are by far the best. My wife likes the crispy M&Ms. Not the Rice Krispie, the is that the crispy ones? They're like in the blue package. Disgusting. Have you ever tried one of the caramel ones? Those bitches will break your teeth, bro. It's not like gooey. It's like
yeah,
bro. It break. I'm like, what the fuck is it? You crunch the chocolate shell, and you're like, how fuck is it? I got
assaulted by a candy.
It's disgusting. Anyway. Like I said, we've been vamping for a minute now. I really don't. I'm good this week. Sometimes I just don't have enough to fill an hour and a half. But hopefully you guys come back next week and we'll see if we have the Super Bowl prediction right. the Super Bowl game right, the prediction will happen the week before the Friday before the Super Bowl. But yeah, Fridays we record.
Jesus, that's not true.
Crispy M&Ms are bad. They're not good.
Peanut butter.
Right, not peanut. Peanut butter, so good. And do you know why they're good? Because the ratio to peanut butter and chocolate is good. Is perfect. Like
it's almost a cup, but not a cup.
It's like the mini Reese's. Like some people like the mini Reese's better. I think that's a fair, because again, the ratio is right. Big Reese's, still good. Reese's is the best candy ever. But the big cups, too much peanut butter. I love peanut butter, but you have to like have a glass of milk if you're gonna eat a Reese's big cup, right? And they always be putting shit in the big cups. There's peanut butter, or there's pretzels in the big cups. They have Reese's Pieces in the Reese's.
I was gonna say little Reese's Pieces.
That doesn't make any damn sense to me. But
just tell me what happened. Somebody accidentally spilled some Reese's Pieces in, and you were like, I'm not throwing this batch out.
Right.
Cup them, bro. Cup them.
But the ratio is perfect in a peanut butter M&M, right? No questions asked. Is there any other candy hot takes? By the way, she used to, this is a fun fact, she used to love pregnant. It is like a pregnant Reese's. She used to like Kit Kats, right? So when she first got off to college, everybody, her mom, her dad, me, everybody would just she had fucking boxes of Kit Kats. And she was like, I never want to see another Kit Kat again. I've never bought her a Kit Kat since her freshman year. They used to be her favorite candy. Won't even look at them now.
You ruined Kit Kats.
I did, but not intentionally.
Like Christmas.
But Kit Kats are ass anyway. They're kind of mid, to be fair.
I got to be in the mood for them. And if I have to be in the mood for a candy.
Okay. Twix. Now, we've argued before about the left and the right Twix, which is the dumbest marketing thing I've ever seen in my life. However, peanut butter Twix, where do you stand on those? Yeah, I know.
You add peanut butter. Bless you. Wow. Bless you. You add peanut butter into candy, it makes it better. If you had a peanut butter Snickers.
See, here's the thing. I don't like the caramel, though. I like caramel okay. But the caramel in the Snickers kind of puts it off for me because in the Twix with the peanut butter, there's no caramel. It's just nougat.
Then why don't you just get a Three Musketeers then?
Because Three Musketeers ass.
Okay, end this right now.
Three Musketeers is just with the fluff in the middle? Terrible. Terrible.
I'm leaving.
Yeah, are the beat? What are they beating? There you go.
See this?
Anyway.
See this? You put my sweater on?
Do you eat the chocolate ones?
Chocolate what?
The Three Musketeers is like chocolate, right?
Yeah, chocolate and nougat. That's all it is.
It's not nougat. It's literally just full of fluff.
So am I.
Okay. What about Milky Way?
I love Milky Way.
Milky Way is just weaker than Snickers.
Nope. It's fucking Musketeer with caramel.
So you've made... Also, it's caramel. Don't ever say caramel in my life again.
How you say it?
Caramel.
Caramel. Okay, see, why...
You're an insane person.
Why do you eat food wrong? What did food do to you?
Wait, I'm just picturing... Like, nibbling and then... You are so weird. Anyway.
We're coming downstairs to yell at you.
Yeah, all right.